Okay, so unfortunately, I failed to click the record button, and I did like half of this bout without it recording. So my bad. Let's try this again. I haven't seen the whole thing. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's just give it a shot. Ah, I know for the first few touches, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's give it a shot. Okay, attack from Miles. Good running attack from Miles, but Alexander does a really good parry post there. Miles pushing again, pushing again. Maybe he'll try to go. Okay, he tried to work his way in with the parry posts. That was interesting. So he did this little lunge, and then Alexander parried, and then Miles did counter parry, and then Alexander did counter parry, and there was just this lots of blade back and forths, and Miles kept getting in closer. He tried to work his way in there, but the final parry post was for Alexander, and he got off target. Here it looked like Miles parried, but then Alexander remised to the leg. Yeah, I agree. Miles just waited too long, in my opinion. But he's asking for video. So to me, it looked like Miles didn't start forward right away on the alley, and Alexander just kind of did his attack, and Miles sort of waited a moment. He saw that Alexander was had his arm back, and then he just did a lunge. But he has to start going forward also at the same time for that to work. This is a very nice attack by Alexander. Miles didn't manage to go back there. He just kind of stayed in close and searched for the parry. Like he did it again there, and this time he got the parry, managing to give him the attack, and then he tries to finish short and sweet, and Alexander managed to get the touch and basically oppose in 7. Very nice parry post flick to the back by Alexander. Alexander is just he's winning these blade exchanges, and when Miles is able to get the attack or the repost, he's missing, and he's getting off target. He's testing his blade. He's getting off target. He's missing, and he's just not missing. He's not missing just because he's not good at hitting. It's he's very good at hitting. It's that Alexander is very good at using his right arm and his body movements to protect his target area. It's a very nice attack by Alexander. And it's totally allowed, of course. I mean, his right arm is his weapon arm, and it's part of the game to use that arm to protect your target area, and he does it very well. Maybe the best. Good attack by Alexander. I feel that Miles is really getting caught in the close distance. Like, he's not opening the distance on the way back. He's staying close, staying close, staying close, and then he's either doing parry post or counterattack, which is this is a very, very classic thing to do. But I think he could change the dynamic of the bout if he were on the way back to open the distance, especially at the moment that Alexander accelerates. Now he's pushing again. He's pushing again. In the attack, he needs to do some, I don't know. That was nice. That was very good. That was a very straight attack, and he finished on the arm. I want to say he should do some kind of second intention, but it feels like I'm always saying that. What else could he do? He could try. What I mean by second intention is he could try like this short little lunge, and then Alexander does the parry, and then he could do the counter parry, kind of like he did there in a way. That was pretty good. So he could try that. But that's not the only thing he can do. You know, he could try a super committed attack, which is dangerous. So like a big running attack, like he tried in the first touch. It didn't work, but he could try it again. You could try flicking to the back. Maybe Alexander's always kind of hunched over. Some fencers do have success against Alexander going to his back. And Miles is very good at flicking, and he's very tall. These guys have fenced each other many, many times. Many times. So this is another day at the office for them, I think. So they know things about each other and each other's fencing that nobody else can. This is a good little stop hit attempt. But it looks like he got the leg. He got the leg, and then, or maybe the hand, but he got somewhere kind of low, and then, but he did manage to parry the Alexander's attack. That was very nice. Here, Miles did like a little attack. Alexander parried. He did a very compound repost, and Miles tried to get the remise in, which is basically the correct decision. But Alexander was able to get the tip on. It feels to me that Miles is actually controlling the bout, so he's the more active fencer. He's the one that's kind of... Oh, that was very, very nice. He baited Alexander's straight attack and then did parry post. This was very good. And I feel that Alexander's the more passive fencer in this bout. Yeah, so here Alexander, he searched very big and very close, and that forced Miles to pull the blade back, and that opened the window for Alexander to do counterattack. This is a very classic counterattack setup. But it's not necessarily good or bad to be the active or the... Oh, very nice. Very nice counterattack. It's not good to be the active fencer or bad, and it's not bad to be the passive fencer or good. It's just the bout situation, what that demands of you. And it seems to me that Miles is more active, and Alexander is doing a very good job at finding the moments like that to get Miles. Alexander is, he's getting the counterattack, he's getting the parry repost, he's letting Miles do his thing, and then he's finding his moments in it. Even there, he did. Miles came forward, Alexander kind of baited him for a second. Miles finished his attack, he fell short, Alexander went in, so Alexander did the getaway, then he was doing the go, and he missed, and well, he didn't just miss. Miles did a very good remise with Inquartada, so very excellent. Okay. Yeah, so the referee says they both started kind of forward, and then, yeah, Miles went back, and Alexander just kept going forward. Miles wasn't happy with that, but I understand the ref. I kind of agree. Go, attack from left. Miles just keeps trying to bait Alexander into attacking in like a closed distance, but it's just not really working that well so far. Like there, so he keeps trying. He's basically trying to do a counter time. He's doing some version of counter time. He's pushing forward. He's stopping. He's hoping Alexander will go, and then he'll get the parry post. But Alexander he's too quick on the counter attack, and he's getting in too close. So I think Miles needs to be fencing in a longer distance, just to change it up. Just because Alexander is winning everything that is in a shorter distance, Miles needs to try to pull him more. And the touches that Miles is getting is when Alexander is like rushing forward, and then Miles is able to get the counterattack, or he's able to get he got a remise in the same way that he got the counterattack. Maybe he's able to get the parry repost, but I think he could get the parry repost if he were to get Massialas to really commit to some attacks. So he needs to push. No, pull back. Okay, that worked. Good job. But I still think he should pull back, but it was good. Very nice touch. Let's see what he does here. Parry post. Alexander is no, and then it's Miles' turn. So I saw it the same way the ref did. Okay, I guess Miles missed as well, making it Alexander's turn. Attack from Miles. Off target. Something flew off. I don't know what happened there. Something exploded. I think it was the end of his foil. Oh, that was a good parry post. He's getting these touches sometimes in the close distance where he's stopping short and either getting the counterattack or stopping short and getting the parry repost as he did there. But the ratio is not good. Let's try to get the remise again. Oh, that was such a good parry repost from Miles, but he just didn't manage to get the tip in there. Yeah, I agree with the referee. It was an attack from Alexander. He had a strong blade take, but his light didn't go off, and Miles got the counterattack. Parry post from Alexander, I agree. Yeah, good bout. Yeah. Thought Alexander fenced very smart. He used his advantage. He just kept doing what he was doing. Taking advantage of the moments in Miles's footwork. Basically, just that when Miles was getting too close, Miles would get too close. Alexander would do counterattack. Miles would get too close. Alexander would reach out and take his blade and start his own attack. Uh, Miles would get too close, and Alexander would get parry post. So this is a very good example of how a passive fencing style can defeat an active fencing style. It's not every time. Alexander is very often the active fencer. It's not that that's his style always. It's just that's how it was this bout. And Miles did a very good job actually of getting the thing that he was trying to do to work sometimes, but it just wasn't. It wasn't enough. Obviously, just by the score. And yeah, he did miss several times, but Alexander's very good at making you miss. And yeah, I think the a missing strategy so that Miles could have used would have been to try to keep the distance as long as possible in every action. So when Alexander would attack, he could pull back, and when Alexander would accelerate, he could pull back even further. And then when he was attacking, he could finish. He could really keep a long distance and just finish really kind of short. And if Alexander tried to counterattack, he would have been hit. And if he tried to parry post, Miles would have had a chance to remise or counter parry post. And just to open up the options a little more, just to keep Alexander guessing a little more. As it was, it felt that Alexander was able to kind of rely on the same strategy throughout the bout. But all in all, of course, extremely, extremely high level bout. Both of them technically excellent and tactically varied. I mean, it's not, even though I say the same kind of thing was kept happening, it wasn't really the same action. There were counterattacks, there were counter parries, there were remises, there were straight attacks, there were compound attacks. There was still a lot of stuff happening. It's just that when you're looking at a bout in hindsight and looking at what you could have done, you need to you need to look at what else you could have done. And so it's that version, the version you come up with in your mind is obviously going to be more varied than the version that actually happened because you're looking for more things to add to that. Okay, I digress. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.